everybody, it's Lily and I'm here with Miss Lesley.
Hi.
And today we're going to be doing some stretching tutorials.
Anybody that's been in my Acro class knows that we start with a really good stretch before we go because it's really important to warm up. So you can use these stretches before you dance, before you want to do some tricks, before you do anything, or just in place of doing something, just to keep up on your flexibility while we're on break. So, starting in a straddle, to make this as quick as possible, we're going to reach up as high as you can with pointed toes over to your right side and hold it for about 10 seconds. Good, I hope everyone's feeling well. Reach up, go to the other side, 10 more seconds, and staying nice and healthy. Stay in your house so we can get through this really quick and back to dancing. Stretch up tall and reach to the front. And as everybody knows, always be perfectly, technically perfect in between your moves, even when you're walking across the room. And stretch up. This time you're gonna flex your feet. Hug yourself with one arm, reach all the way over and grab your toe. Same thing, hold this for 10 seconds. And then up again. Reach with the other hand, over to the other side. I hope you don't mind my soundtrack. Dancer's Heart Disney. Stretch up. This time open your feet, grab your toes, and lean forward as far as you can go. If you go down to the ground, that's great. If you can only go this far, that's fine too.
It's hard.
You're gonna hold that again for 10 seconds, and then back, we're gonna repeat this again. Point your toes, turn down as far as you can go, hold it. Guys, remember to keep your knees straight, your toes pointed, your knees facing the ceiling if you can, very good. Stretch up, go to the other side. Also, don't be so focused on how far down you can go, focus on how good your straddle is. So you want straight legs, pointed toes, knees facing the ceiling. If you can only go so far, it's okay. And back to the middle. Obviously your goal is to hit as far as you can go, but make sure that you're staying in the proper straddle with your knees up to the ceiling, pointed toes, straight legs. And back up again. This time flex your feet one more time and do it again. Hug yourself over to the side. You're gonna repeat this. I'm gonna blow through it really quick with Lily so that you guys can move on to the next thing. But when you're doing it at home, make sure you're holding the positions a little bit longer. And back up and to the middle, and you're gonna hold it there. Good, when you're done with that, you're gonna slide your feet into a V shape and repeat that same cycle. Stretch up tall, down to one side and hold it. 10 seconds on that side. Stretch up tall to the other side, 10 seconds. And stretch up tall and down to the middle again. Hold that for 10. Moms, dads, brothers, sisters, don't torture your siblings, but if you want to kind of slightly push down on their backs a little bit to kind of work your way down a little further, you can. Again, making sure that the knees are facing and the toes are pointed and the knees are facing the ceiling. All right, good. And then when you stretch up this time with your flex feet, instead of hugging yourself, you're gonna reach to the bottom of your foot and try to pull your leg off the floor if you can. Work on that hyperextension of the knee. Hold that for 10 seconds, stretch up tall to the other side. Really great, and down to the middle, same thing. This time, don't grab your feet, just go straight to the middle, but keep your toes flexed. Stretch up tall, you're gonna repeat this again. Pointed toes, straight knees, down to one side. Stretching up tall, down to the other side. And stretching up tall down to the middle. Again, remember, I'm going quickly through this to kind of make the video a little shorter, but when you're doing this at home, make sure you're holding these positions for a little bit longer and really feeling your stretch. When you're done with this, you slide your feet into a pike position. I'm just gonna turn Lily sideways so you can see. Make sure your knees are straight, toes are pointed. You're gonna go down as far as you can with your knees straight and your toes pointed. If you try to go down as far as you can and your knees bend, like that, you're defeating the purpose. So, try to go down as far as you can with your knees straight. Again, mom and dad, if you wanna push down a little bit on the back, feel free to do so. All right, so you'll hold that for this one a little bit longer, maybe like a 30-second hold. If you can grab both underneath the feet, that's a goal. If this is a little tight for you, you can put your hands on the side, bend your elbows and try to go down. If you can't, grab your toes. So there's multi-layers to how you can do your pike position. Stretch up tall again. When you flex your toes, this time again, just like on the V shape, you're gonna try to grab the bottom of your toes, pulling them off the floor to get the little hyperextension in your knee. Okay, so do that, I would say 4 times, so 30 seconds in each hold. Then next you're gonna roll upside down, do the counter position, toes on the floor, and hold back. Okay, good. Come back forward, pike again, and then roll back again. Again, 4 times on this. Toes to the ground. Okay, very good. Now back here. After you're done with your pike stretch, the next stretch is the butterfly. This one is gonna be feet as close as you can in, flapping your wings a little bit, opening up those hip flexors, pushing the knees down. Both. Yeah, there you go. At the same time, really opening up the hips. Flap them again, hold your ankles. Good, and on this one, then you're gonna reach forward and go down as far as you can. Opening up the hips. Parents, again, if you want to slightly push down on the knees, slightly push down on the back, just to help them kind of get a little further, you can. This one you're going to hold, again, repetitive, about 4 times we do this, stretching up and back down. Okay, after you do this 4 times, you're going to stretch up. This time slide your feet out to a diamond shape and repeat the same thing. Pushing the hips down, moving forward, holding it, holding it, holding it, and stretching up and back down, holding it, holding it, holding it. All right, great job. Okay, so from here you're going to go into a tuck position. I'm going to have you turn sideways again. This is going to be a shoulder stretch. You're going to put your pinkies behind your back. If you can, touch your pinkies and slide your butts out a little bit. Please. This is stretching right through here in your shoulders. You want to keep your head down as far as you can, pushing this as far as you can. If this is a little bit uncomfortable for you, an alternative, with the fingers facing outward, yeah. And then you're going to push your elbows back. So that's an alternative. Sometimes the straight arms are a little bit uncomfortable. So if you are doing it with the straight arms, slide out as far as you can go. And then while you're in the stretch, your knees are tucked together, feet are together. You're just gonna roll side to side with your legs just to kind of loosen up your shoulders a little bit more. The goal is to try to keep your fingers together while your knees are rocking side to side. Good, now back on your knees. This time we're gonna do stretching our wrists. So we're gonna pancake our hands this way, hold it for a couple minutes. Again, just a reminder, I'm kind of going quickly through these stretches. Make sure that you guys are holding these stretches a little bit longer than we are. Flipping it over. And one more time, as we listen to Breathe, my favorite. Merida's my favorite princess. Okay, good, and roll them around. Awesome job. And then sideways, the next one is our ankles. Again, very important. So up and downward dog type position. And this time you're just gonna kind of go pushing this down, one knee bend, one leg straight, kind of move those ankles around, roll them around. This is a really important stretch because if you're doing leaps and jumps and stuff at home, you're not getting the comfort of the floors that we have in the studio. So sometimes the hard floor of a basement or a deck or wherever you guys are doing your jumps and leaps could be really hard on your shins and ankles. So make sure you're stretching your ankles and shins really well. Okay, the next one will be our cobra stretch, or how the little ones like to think, our mermaid stretch. So we're gonna just hang in this position for a couple seconds, probably about 30 seconds, kind of trying to loosen up your lower back. Then counter stretch back to a cat. Head to the floor, stretching back. So this will stretch your shoulders and your back as well. Back to cobra stretch again. Really good. And then back to a cat. One more time. And on the third one, when you go to your cobra stretch, this time I want you to try to grab your head with your feet, if you can, pushing it back as far as you can. Obviously, some kids will go further, some kids will go a little less, but the goal is to try to just warm that whole part of your body up. Back to a cat stretch one more time. Really good. Now, if you move a little forward, Lily, so I can see in the camera, this time you're going to stretch your toe point, kind of like the front of your foot here. So just roll back on your ankles a little bit, Hold it there, don't just keep rolling. A little bit lower on this. All right, so we're just working on this part of our foot right here, if you can see. Good, and if you want to get a little more advanced, I'll bring this chair over here. If you get a solid thing to hold on, couch, chair, anything you want to do, just point one toe over the top like this. And then just slowly, I'm going to bring the camera a little closer so you guys can see this. Coming closer. Sorry, my finger's in the way. Where are you? Okay. Kind of stretching and then switch. So crossing over and just kind of pushing down on your ankles, if you can see that. All right, just in case you want to do that. Gotta work on your toe point a little. Okay, so after we've done all that, we're gonna move on to our splits. Good. So right side, we're gonna start in just a little lunge like this, and we're just gonna lean forward. And you're gonna hold that. And then you're gonna come back, straight leg, nose to your knee. Good, and then you're gonna lean forward again in that lunge. Twist, grab your foot with your opposite hand. Hold that up, good, right there. Stretch, stretch, stretch. All of these about 20 seconds, and then slide out to a split. Now, if you're like Lily and you can do a split, then your goal is to over split. So, you can use anything you have in your house. Couch, cushion, chair, as high as you want to go. Foot up on a mat and push down. Shoulders back. Now guys, remember, always, because this is a big issue I have every time we do splits in acro, these knees have to be under in the back. Totally under. This has to be turned out. Shoulders back, hips square. Focus on the technique, not so much about getting down, but the technique of how you're getting down, okay? Again, you can go as high as you want. If you have a higher chair and you want to go higher up, whatever you want to do, you guys can modify to your needs. Other side, same thing, just we'll do it really quick. Left, lunge forward, hold that for 20 seconds, lunge back, nose to your knee, 20 seconds, twist, grab your foot, hold that 20 seconds, and slide out to a split. Now, I would recommend holding your splits for a minute to a minute and a half. Okay, don't give up. As soon as you give up on a split, you should have to start over. Okay? Okay, so after you do this, you're just gonna turn to middle splits. Basically, our straddle as far as you can go, and you're gonna roll over to your elbows. A little more. And you're gonna lift up your butts so you're nice and straight line, okay? Some of you might not be able to go all the way down, which is totally fine. If you're having a hard time getting down at all, you can do our frog stretch, which, as you lay sideways, same middle split with your knees, but you wanna make sure your legs are in a straight line, your knee and your butt is in a straight line, okay? Toes together, and you can hold it there. And if you have to modify, you can go on your elbows. Okay, so this will work on your middle split. If you do have your middle split down, same as the over split, put your leg up on a mat, one side, okay? So there's your splits. Moving on to the next thing will be our bridges. Before you do your bridges, make sure you do your 3 rock and rolls. Good, so you'll do 3 of those. All right, and then you'll bridge up. So, laying down however you want to get up in a bridge. Good. This you're gonna wanna hold for a good 30 to 45 seconds. The first one, just a straight bridge, just to get yourself warmed up. Flat feet, flat hands, 30 to 45 seconds, come down, rock and roll. Second one up. This one you're gonna just rock back and forth. Let's work on just pushing your shoulders over your hands. Feet are a little too far wide. Okay, flat, rock and roll. Move this way a little bit. Rock and roll 3 times, bridge again. This time you're gonna lift your favorite leg. leg, try to hold that up there. Give it a good 15 seconds stretching while you're focusing on your shoulders going over your hands. Come down, switch legs, do it again. Awesome job, rock and roll. And the last one, when you bridge up, are just gonna be a little hop your feet over, up, and you're just gonna jump your feet into the air, just to kind of focus on getting those shoulders over your hands. So those are your bridge modifications. Okay, rock and roll. After you've done your bridges, you're gonna do 10 handstands, okay? Now, handstands, again, modified depending on how you feel comfortable doing it. You can do them, Lily will show you just A on the floor, which you guys already know how to do. Lunge, handstand, split down. Or not. Try again.
Oh boy.
Let me spot her on the handstand, split down. Thank you. Concentrating on if you are not going over. If you go over, it doesn't count. If you want to modify the handstand, find a blank wall. Make sure the ground is either carpeted or you have a cushion underneath you in case you want to fall. Turn around.
You wanna fall?
Exactly. Hands out flat. You're just gonna walk your feet up the wall. Walk, walk. And you're just gonna hold it there and try to get as close as you can to the wall. Hold it for like 10, 15 seconds. Come down. Walking, walking, walking. All right. Or if you want to turn around and kick up and hold it up against the wall, you can do that as well. If your mom lets you put footprints on the wall and come down. All right, because we want to keep working on our arm strength and stretching out the upper body as well as the lower body, okay? And now lastly, if you have space, my favorite stretch, which I think is great for everyone, are the TikToks. So you can do the on the floor, go ahead, tick, and then top back, okay? Or if you can't do that, find a couch or a chair or something. Let me see, I don't know, we'll use the wall for instance, since I don't have a couch or chair here. Just kick up, tip over, and kick it back, okay? Because sometimes it's a little harder to get over and back. And again, if you know who you are, if you can't do it on your own and you usually use my help, I prefer you not to try it by yourself. I really just want you to concentrate on your bridges. And if you do want to try something at home that does require kicking over, just do your bridge. You can just put your foot up on your couch or your bed. Let's pretend this is your couch or your bed, okay? And you get your feet up on here, and then you can work on kicking over from there. I mean, what kind of assistant do I have here? Kick over. It's been a rough week. So that's my advice just for stretching. Make sure you're doing your straddles, your pikes, your butterflies, your bridges, your splits, and handstands. Those are the 4, 5, 6 things that I think are like the most important thing in staying in shape. Also add to your workout planks, push-ups. Do your push-ups on all sorts of angles. If you want to put your feet up on a mat, couch, bed, chair, wherever you can put your hands, do multiple levels of push-ups. It'll be really great for you. And you know, if you're feeling a little cold or you want to warm up, make sure you're getting outside. Take my cartwheel challenge tomorrow and stay in shape, girls. When we get back, we're going to be better than ever. So we miss you so much. We can't wait to see you soon. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Oh, we're not supposed to touch hands.